Welcome again, Porsche files. I like to collect small models. So we have MiniGT number 715 of the Porsche 911 Carrera RS 2.7 in the Grand Prix white with blue livery. And it's a licensed product by Porsche and some anti-counterfeiting hologram there. Reading some Wikipedia here. These cars were made between 1972 and 1974. 1,580 units were made. And this is the first Porsche to have the RS Rennsport designation. It was also the first to use the Carrera name. It was also the first to have different tire sizes. And so it was developed for the FIA Groups 3 and 4 racing. So the 2.7 liter flat 6 would be making around 207 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much these days. But it could still do 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, or 5.8 seconds actually, and it could hit 245 kilometers per hour. 0 to 60 is 0 to 100 kilometers an hour as well. 0 to 60 miles per hour, or 0 to 100 kilometers per hour roughly. It was actually the fastest German production car at that time, and it runs on little 15-inch wheels. So that's it was also the very first Porsche to have a spoiler. So this was done for aero, because these things would wrap around trees and telephone poles because it's a pendulum, because all the weight of the engine is behind the rear axle. So that's just kind of a dumb design in theory, but they've pretty much perfected it. The cars are fantastic. So you can see this front chin spoiler part or bumper is different from a normal 911 as well. There's only one mirror. This one's a round one, this one's rectangular. They came in different colors, these graphics and stuff, red, green, and the like. So let's see about the lines up on this thing. So I would say that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, being a licensed product, they probably were able to scan a real car or something. Okay, so you have some flares going on the rear, so that's why it would have wider rear tires in the front. And alright, so looks pretty good to me. What's nice about this brand is you don't have to worry about the mirrors. As I'm touching this, that mirror is flexing. It's made of some sort of rubbery material. Okay, well, it's just a white body. It's not a metallic or anything like that. But what's nice is the blue accents are tampo printed. They're not decals. What's not the greatest is these knobby truck tires. I mean, it looks like a rally tire to me. So this one obviously is an issue, but you can just put it back. At least they're narrow, like tires from this era would be. But the rears are not wider than the fronts, so they're just the same tire. There's some tread, and yeah, again, they just don't look good from the side. Road tires don't look like mud boggers. The wheels, though, are pretty nice. The Fuchs wheels, or whatever these things are called. We zoom in a little bit. The center is painted blue very, very well, and then the lip is still an aluminum silver color. Air passing between the spokes, and the center cap is painted silver. No brakes on Mini GTs, they're not the most expensive models. I'm gonna guess that's a jacking up point. The door handle sticking out, painted silver. The window molding has some raised surfaces, painted silver. And then again, flexible mirror, very good. Although I do question if those are gonna harden and crack in time, or the paint maybe gets sticky and get gross. So the Fresneling or whatever striations of the lenses is on the outside, but behind you can see the molded light bulb of the casting, painted silver, very cool. These are plastic inserts as well. The separation of color is pretty good. Yeah, very nice. There's a little black here for these little vents. And there's an area for a license plate. So again, cost of a Mini GT, you're not always going to get a license plate. It's pretty, but you do have a little black paint here for that vent. Okay, and then the Porsche crest. Oh, look at this. This is not even a tampo. I think this is like a decal or like a sticker of some sort. That's kind of crazy. That's very unexpected for the cost of a Mini GT. Wow, that's impressive. I mean, that's really something you see in a model costing 50 to 50% or more. Unfortunately, some sort of weird roughness. This hood, or is the bumper? The bumper's a separate piece. Okay. I see. So they're probably using the same casting for the regular 911, and they casted different parts to make it the RS. Little bumps for the wiper fluid stuff. The wipers themselves are raised and molded into the windshield, painted black. There's some silver paint for the molding, seems to be on the casting. Okay, this side looks fine. Alright, so if you're new and you like toys, MiniGTs, pretty much all of them roll. And they actually roll pretty smooth. I don't really care about rolling, it's not my thing. Alright, going around to the back, so the rear bumper is a separate piece as well, and then nice clear lights with good separation for the backups. I think that's silver. Yeah, that's behind there. This is some sort of coal molded plastic. The red might be painted on, but maybe the orange is painted on. Maybe it's just a clear piece of plastic with paint on it, and then behind the casting is painted silver. Anyways, they look like 3 taillights of different colors, so very cool. And then these reflectors have a little black border painted around them. And this is weird. I don't know if this is the fuel filler. Is the fuel filler behind the license plate on this car? Please chime in if you're a Porsche file. And I assume those black things are like some sort of straps to hold this back hood down. Tampo printed. Yeah, that's a little rough. Not the greatest there. A little extra paint mistake there as well. This tailpipe is nice though, having a recess there. And then the printing is very good there. Well, the RS not so good, but the Carrera, that's weird because the Carrera is smaller text than the RS. You can, it's maybe an outline of RS, like a double lined letter. That's why it's a little smudged. This Porsche looks pretty good though. A little dust and stuff to get rid of. And then we have a painted on grille back here with the 2.7 looking pretty good. Alright, the rear window, silver paint for the molding again. And then we have a black interior with some molding there. Let me get a flashlight and see. Boy. It's really hard to hold this. Alright, so molded gauges. The steering wheel is all hollow, so that's nice. Maybe radio or HVAC controls there in the middle of the dash. The front seats seem to be buckets, and they're actually smooth. I thought they would have like maybe some ribbing, but maybe the real car just had smooth, like fiberglass seats or something. I don't know. Headrests, okay. Okay, and the door panels look pretty plain, so I don't know if these door panels and the seats are specific to an RS versus a normal 911. I do not know. There's no rear view mirror. That's perfectly fine. I don't really care. But if you're more nitpicky than me, which is almost impossible. So it's time for some other castings. So we have a TLV of the very first Porsche. I guess which came out in 1966. So hubcaps, just plain license plate. Yeah, I guess it's not too bad. I mean, so. And then we have this Kyosho of a crazy whale tail RSR Turbo. I don't know what year this came out, but it's clearly a racing version of a 911. In fact, that's so big I have to put that back here. Now, Mini Champs, they made this 1976 934, which is also like a racing car with this Jägermeister livery. And then back to Kyosho, we have the 911 SC that came out, I guess, in 1978. Nice tires, see? Look at this. From the side, they look like regular road tires, and yet they have tread. So I'm not sure why MiniGT just can't make better tires when Kyosho probably made this model 10 to 20 years ago. The TLV also looks like regular road tires, although they look a little more slab-sided. But TLVs don't really have treads. I'd rather have no treads than mud bogging tires on a sports car. Alright, all interesting. You know, a few different brands there. My 3D printed disc is all chipped, but I'm too lazy to paint a new one. Anyhow, still, MiniGT's good stuff. Yeah, please leave a comment. What's going on with the molding back there? I'm gonna guess it's a fuel filler, but then again, why would that hatch be there? I thought that's where the fuel goes in these cars, but I've never owned a Porsche, so thanks for watching. We'll see you the next time a MiniGT comes into the collection.